海賊ごっこちゅうことか悪くない響きやの。
There's something beautiful about the madness of a Yakuza game. One second you're engaged in an emotional crime drama that rivals Scorsese's best work, and the next you're breakdancing in a diaper, fighting a man who has questionable morals and even worse fashion sense. RGG Studios has mastered the art of balancing absolute chaos with storytelling that somehow still manages to hit like a freight train. And now, with Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, or as I like to call it, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, they've taken that chaos, chucked it into the Pacific, and made sure it washed up on the shores of Oahu with a fresh tan and a cocktail in hand. Before we dive into the madness, make sure to follow me over on Twitch at Andre the Alpha, where I stream all sorts of games, including Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. If you enjoy deep dives like this and want to hang out live, click that follow button and join the community. Ichiban Kasuga is back, and so is Kiryu, because of course he is. The man will outlive us all. But this time, instead of the neon lit streets of Kamurocho, we're taking our crime syndicate nonsense to the sun-soaked beaches of Hawaii, a place traditionally associated with relaxation, not getting punched in the face by a dude in a Speedo. The game wastes no time getting straight to the good stuff. Ichiban wakes up naked on a beach because that's just his luck, and before long he's caught up in yet another crime-laden adventure that involves gangsters, questionable alliances, and more side activities than a procrastinating college student could ever dream of. The setting itself is a game changer for the franchise. For the first time, we step outside of Japan and immerse ourselves in Honolulu, Hawaii, bringing a fresh cultural backdrop that blends traditional Yakuza elements with the laid-back island atmosphere. This shift in setting not only enhances the aesthetic appeal, but also introduces a new variety of characters, locations, and interactions that add to the game's depth. The main narrative follows Ichiban's quest to reunite with his long-lost mother, Akane Kishida, while Kiryu wrestles with personal demons, including a serious illness. This dual protagonist structure enriches the storytelling, keeping players emotionally engaged while delivering the expected mix of ridiculous and heartfelt moments. Combat still follows the turn-based format introduced in Like a Dragon, and if you didn't like it before, well, tough luck, because it's back and it's doubled down on being as ridiculous as possible. If you ever wanted to see a grown man summon a giant tuna to smack someone across the face in battle, this is the game for you. And honestly, it works. The added depth to the job system allows for some wild combinations, and watching Kiryu go from a stoic legend to a guy doing Aloha themed beatdowns is comedy gold. Kiryu even has his own exclusive Dragon of Dojima job, allowing him to switch between multiple fighting styles, and for short moments engage in real-time combat reminiscent of older Yakuza titles. Side content is where RGG Studios always shines, and Hawaii offers some of the best distractions in the series yet. There's a fully functional Pokemon-inspired side game where you collect weirdos off the streets and throw them into battle. Yes, it's basically Pokemon but with criminals, and it's about as unhinged as it sounds. Then there's the obligatory cabaret club management, because what's a Yakuza game without it? But instead of hostess clubs, you're running an escort business trying to cater to an elite clientele who have more money than sense. The depth here is absurd, as always, and before you know it, you've spent 6 hours min-maxing your business while the main story sits there waiting like an abandoned dog. And let's not forget the new Crazy Delivery mini-game. Ever played Crazy Taxi? Well, now imagine that, but with Ichiban as the driver, dodging pedestrians and delivering orders across town at breakneck speeds.
Shit! What's this?
It's another one of those ridiculous yet addictive distractions that somehow fits perfectly in this world. Then there's Miss Match, an in-game dating app that lets Ichiban attempt to find romance, leading to some of the most awkward, hilarious, and even surprisingly endearing interactions in the game. If that's not enough, Happy Resort. Dandoko Island lets players build and customize their own tropical paradise, turning the game into a pseudo Animal Crossing experience where managing villagers and collecting resources becomes its own obsession. The writing is, unsurprisingly, on point. Yakuza's ability to make you care deeply about characters while simultaneously laughing at their ridiculous antics is unparalleled. Ichiban remains the perfect protagonist for this insanity, balancing his dumb optimism with some genuinely heartfelt moments. And Kiryu? The man's been through so much at this point that watching him play tourist while still trying to maintain his legendary badass persona is some peak storytelling. Not everything is perfect though. The game can sometimes feel bloated with mini games and side distractions that, while fun, can pull away from the core narrative. The pacing also drags in some spots, particularly in the mid-game, where it leans a little too heavily on filler content before ramping back up for the final act. Also, while Hawaii is a refreshing change of scenery, it doesn't feel quite as alive as Kamurocho or Sotenbori. The detail is there, but the density of interactable spaces feels a little thinner. Graphically, Infinite Wealth is a step up from previous entries, though not a massive leap. The lighting is beautiful, character models look fantastic, and animations are fluid, but you can still see the limitations of the engine in some areas. Some environmental textures don't quite hold up under scrutiny, and while Hawaii is a great setting, it sometimes feels a little emptier compared to the dense streets of Kamurocho. Performance-wise, it runs smoothly on next-gen consoles and high-end PCs, with only a few minor hiccups in certain areas. Load times are nearly non-existent, making it easy to jump between side activities and main missions without frustration.
このまま海賊家業を続けんのもありか。
Final verdict, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii is everything you want from a Like a Dragon game and more. It's a sprawling, bizarre, and emotional adventure that never takes itself too seriously while still managing to deliver some of the most compelling character moments in gaming. If you're a fan of the series, it's a must-play. If you're new, it's an insane but surprisingly great jumping on point. Either way, prepare for an experience that will make you laugh, cry, and wonder why you're suddenly emotionally invested in a man trying to win a spam musubi eating contest. Also, don't be surprised if you spend more time managing a resort or training your criminal Pokemon than actually progressing through the story, because at the end of the day, that's exactly what makes the Yakuza game so damn good. And before you go, don't forget to check out my Twitch channel, Andre the Alpha. If you love deep dives like this, come hang out while I stream games like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth live. Hit that follow button and join the community. I'd love to see you there.